Hello and welcome to this RPD Thief Buster Alert. I am Crime Prevention Specialist Scott Leamon along with Detective Minnix. Detective Minnix, thanks for joining me for this one. You know, 2017 is great in a lot of ways with social media. Not only can you keep up with mom and dad who might live in Florida like my parents do, but you can also now sell stuff on Facebook, so you don't have to have a yard sale anymore. You can just put it right up there. And with that comes some challenges as far as crime prevention. And part of our job as crime prevention specialists is to make sure we find a hole and that somebody's just inadvertently fallen into. We don't want to blame the victims here at all, but we want to make sure that you don't fall in that hole. So we're going to give you some tips now that if you do want to sell stuff on Facebook, on some of these other social media sites, how to do that safely. And Officer Minnix, I think it all starts with making sure when the sales take place that it's in a familiar territory where you know what you're doing, right, and you know where you are, right?
Yes, sir. I'm working cases now where people are even coming in from other jurisdictions. They're not familiar with the area, probably using Google Maps or something to even get to the area, and they're saying, you know, I was in an unfamiliar place, and even trying to get the location from them is difficult. You
can use the police department lobby here. You can use a big box store parking lot, the mall, whatever you want to use, we think is much more safer than some place that you've never been before. And another really red flag to look out for is when you get there and whoever's supposedly buying the item either doesn't have the money, if they're selling the item to you doesn't have the item, that could be a red flag that they're trying to lure you even into a more unfamiliar territory.
Yes, in one of my cases I remember that the person's they're having a meet location and they're looking at the item and they're saying, hey, we need to go to the next park to get the money so I can pay you for the item, and that should be a red flag immediately.
Yes, and lastly, we also just want to make sure that when you get there, it is the item that was advertised. I know in one of these cases it was a car, and it was a little bit of an older car than what the picture was, and that again should be a red flag, right?
Certainly. You know, having people with you, being in a location you're familiar with, and again, the items and the money that was previously agreed upon is in fact still the case.
And the good thing is with a couple of cases you're talking about, you are going to be able to obtain charges. It's a juvenile, but he is going to be able to obtain charges. Yes. So that is good. We just want to make sure everybody knows, again, just to go through these real quick, always make the sale or buy it in a place you're familiar with. Don't really recommend maybe going out of town, even if you know it's over some higher dollar items you might have to, but you know, just make sure you're familiar with it. We also want to say that if they try to lure you to different places from point A to point B, oh, I forgot my money, let's go over here, might be a red flag, something's going on. And also, again, if it is not what was advertised, to go ahead and maybe remove yourself from that situation. So for this RPD Thief Buster Alert, for Detective Minnix, I am Scott Leamon. I'm sure we will see you later.